Hello, my name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am. Today was another fantastic fucking day. 16 dials on the day. Not very high. That's okay because we did send out, hold on, let me pull it up, 126 messages on LinkedIn, so the prospecting is still there. It doesn't need to be, like, I'm learning that it doesn't need to, okay, we'll come back to this, but I'm learning that it doesn't necessarily need to be dials, it needs to be reach outs, whether of some form or another. If we hit 100 across the board consistently every single day, we will book more appointments, which will lead to more revenue. 4 replies on that, none resulting in demo. So 0 demos booked. So unfortunate, but that's okay. However, 2 demos held and 1 deal closed. But the unique thing about this 1 deal closed was it was a self-generated LinkedIn prospecting 1 call close, which is like a huge fucking deal. And so self-generated means I was the one who found them on through Sales Navigator, sent them a message, specifically the new LinkedIn messages that I send out, which are the same thing as the cold caller opener, which is like, I'll be essentially going like, thanks for the connection. This is a prospecting message. Here's the quick hook. Have I piqued your interest? Duncan Planswell. This because what I'm trying to figure out with that message is what I'm saying remotely interesting? If the answer is yes, then let's have a conversation and find out whether or not it actually makes sense. If it's no at this point, then there's no point having a conversation. And I'm not closing any deals on LinkedIn. It's just, I'm finding it out. So self-generated through LinkedIn. So again, proves the prospecting method is useful. And that's what I mean is it's still not a waste of my time because it's 100 credits of the platform. And it's not I'm on LinkedIn feeling like I'm doing work, but not actually doing work. That's productive because this has generated opportunity. Like the 2 deals that I've closed, one that's an auto charge and one that's this. Actually, let me see if both of them were in the month of, hold on, I want to find out. Calendar. I think it would have been, no, okay, so technically I demoed the guy that I closed for the auto charge on yesterday, originally on Thursday of February. So if it wasn't a leap year, then it technically would have been March. We'll count it March. Where was I? But self-generated, so both of them have been through LinkedIn, so it's actually working to that. But self-generated 1 call close, meaning I was able to secure the deal and help them make the decision on the first conversation, not have it to extend it out over and over. But the more crucial thing in detail that I want to say out loud so I can remind myself, or not say out loud and remind myself, but just actually acknowledge, is the fact that had like Planswell not hired me, that revenue that I generated, specifically the one today, they wouldn't have gotten. Now you could say at some point they would have reached out and it would have made sense, but I'm more taking ownership and acknowledging the fact that no, I created that. It wasn't a marketing found this guy and I just took the call and he's like, yeah, I'm ready to buy. All I had to do was sound somewhat competent and he's going to move forward. That works. Like that's not what happened. That works. That's not what happened here. This was I didn't have demos on the books. I went out and did the prospecting. I generated an opportunity. I closed it. Like I was the one who, like I did that. Like I now have the skill of selling. Now the question is, can I enact and live out or inhabit, behave out, do the behavior? Can I do the skill of selling consistently over a long enough period of time? That's the next skill step to get. Because really, everything that I'm learning about the business videos is that if you do the fundamentals well consistently, you'll win. That's how you succeed. Oftentimes when things aren't going well, it's because you've lost touch with actually doing the fundamentals. Or in the simple things, it's not ever a complicated thing. It's like, what's complex about it? Well, whatever. But so I did that and I'm proud of myself. So we got 2 deals closed already. I'm happy. And we got more in the pipeline coming up. Now, this is the point to step on the gas, to do more prospecting. Because I have a bunch of follow-ups that were scheduled for next week that were kind of like, not brush-offs, or they weren't brush-offs. demos that I held in February that wanted to book a follow-up at another point, sometimes reschedule, they accepted the event. But so, what I can say with confidence is I have a decent chunk of carried deals from February in my pipeline. So there's two things I can either do. I can go like, all right, well, I don't got to do any prospecting and sit back and just hope that the deals that carried forward close. Or I can just bank on some of these closing and they will just pad whatever new revenue I can generate in this month. Specifically, this one was someone that I generated this month. Well, actually, technically the conversation started... Hold on, like when did I originally reach out to him? It would have been... Yeah, it would have been... So technically I reached out... and he replied to it on Friday of last week. Oh, so actually pretty quickly. But whatever. What's funny is the two demos that okay, so that was the first demo. Then the second demo that was at 3 o'clock and the one at 2 o'clock was also almost a one-call close as well. But he did seem a little price sensitive, and like I offered these things, but then instead we just, like, he didn't bite. I think he just wanted to not... I don't know. Maybe in the future I will see whether or not I could have, like, what else I could have done to close him there. I'm going to send the call to my manager, to sales manager, to see if, like, there's any insight he has in it. It would have been nice if I could just get 2 self-generated LinkedIn prospecting one-call closes in a day. That'd be kind of cool. But we'll see. Also have been using some of the more sales tactics, like creating the sense of urgency and scarcity by mentioning that, like, the program may, like we're careful with how many people we let in, which again aren't lies. Like, it's not just fabricated to make them feel like they have to, like, I know I'm not lying to them, but in the context of these conversations, it seemed relevant to bring up, and not just saying it for the sake of saying it because it's a sales tactic and you just got to say sales tactics and get people to close. Like, but it made sense. Like the one guy, like I said, there's a first call promo, which I had to meet my one-on-one with the sales manager afterwards, and he was going like, "What? You actually did that? Like, you did that? Fucking yet? Let's go." So that's funny. But so that's good. Where was I going with this? It's a good day. I feel like I had more to say. I also had one that was at 5:30, but then they didn't show up, or actually the numbers didn't work. Like, I called 3 times in a row, but because when I called the first time, it just went directly to voicemail. And then so I called again, and it went the same thing. I thought it was just on Do Not Disturb, so I tried a 3rd time, and it didn't work. So left a voicemail, sent a text, sent an email. We'll see if they can go. Like, I would have called again afterwards, but because the phone number didn't ring, it's not a they might not have been available, but it's like something's not normal. But so clearly I'm growing into the role, which I'm happy about, and I'm happy that I'm having success. Starting to see that, and I do believe that there was a fundamental psychological shift in terms of my ability to deliver it away from the super excited puppy dog energy, and more into a more convicted representative of the company, because of because of the interaction I had with the guy who I really had to try to get a demo with, and then was a struggle, and everything I did to attempt to get him to consider us as different from the other services that are similar away from that. But that when I attempted to do so, at the end of the day, he still had his own personal biases that he was projecting onto the reality. Because most of what you see actually is memory, so it's no surprise that people often fall victim to their own personal biases and projections, and not fall victim to, but are more perceptually influenced by. But so, anyways, because I saw that and then went going, okay, I'm no longer responsible for... I know the boundary between where what I'm representing and it can speak to stops, ends, and what the advisor has to do begins. because I can speak with full conviction about what we do. But I can't speak with full conviction based on what they do because I don't know them. But anyways, so we're figuring it out and it's starting to come into place, which is nice. That's the case. Got invited to a axe throwing birthday party on the weekend, so that'll be cool and fun. I think that's it. It's a good day. I'm happy. I'm happy that it's clicking and things are starting to move in the direction that I've been trying to work towards, as well as actually being in the ring of the sales thing. That rhymed. Ding. Sorry. The sales training videos and books that I've read, conceptually speaking, are no longer just conceptual, but I can actually understand what they mean in real life because I'm seeing them relevant to a particular situation rather than it just being in theory, but actually more in practice. But yeah, we're laughing, we're good. I'm happy. I think it's just more of course it was gonna be hard and we're not there yet, but it's starting to shift in a way that it is beyond just, it's gonna happen at some point, you gotta believe. And more like I'm starting to now actually believe the things, like it's working. I wish I could articulate that better beyond just a emotive feeling. But tomorrow, what do we got? Tomorrow we got a follow-up that could close. Yep, a follow-up that also could close. And okay, so then we're just gonna do a bit more prospecting. We're good, we're happy. Yeah. This is, if I knew I was going to be in this position, in feeling in place today, when I started the account executive role, or when I got the promotion back in January, I'd be content. I'd be happy. So I'm glad that this is where we are. We're laughing. I'll talk to you later. No.